What if I told you that the AI that you talk to every single day, the one that writes your emails, answers your questions, and gives you advice on parenting and relationships, doesn't actually understand a single word you're saying? Not one word. And yet somehow it sounds completely human. How is that even possible? Today I'm going to break that down for you. No tech degree needed, no complicated jargon. Stick with me for the next few minutes because by the end of this video, you will understand something that most smart users are not thinking about. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Now let's play a game. I'm going to start a sentence and I want you to finish it. Ready? The dog chased the, what did you say? Cat? Ball? Frisbee? You didn't say refrigerator. You didn't say Tuesday. You said something that made sense because you have read and heard millions of sentences in your lifetime. Your brain learned what words belong near what other words. Now, imagine you played that fill in the blank game, not with a million sentences, but with hundreds of billions of sentences. Billions, that's with a B. Every book ever written, every website ever published, years of human conversation, stories, science, gossip, philosophy, all of it. That's what an AI does during training. It reads an almost unimaginable amount of human writing and it gets very, very good at one thing, guessing the next word, predicting what comes next. That's it. That's the entire trick. Not understanding, not feeling, not thinking, even though it tells you it's thinking, it's just guessing really, really well. What word probably comes next based on everything that came before it. Now, here's where it gets a little more interesting and a little more weird. Computers don't actually read letters. They can't. Everything a computer does comes down to numbers. So when AI is being trained, every single word gets turned into a number, but not just any number. Think of it like a map, a really big invisible map. And every word gets its own location on that map. Here's the wild part. Words that mean similar things end up living close together on the map. The word dog lives near puppy and bark and leash. The word king lives near queen and crown and royal. The word sad lives near lonely, hurt, and grief. The AI didn't put them there on purpose. Nobody told it that dog and puppy belong together. It figured that out by recording billions of sentences and noticing which words keep showing up around each other. Scientists call these locations on the map vectors, but you can just call them addresses. Every word has an address, and words with similar meanings live in the same neighborhood. Now, when you type a question to an AI, here's what's actually happening. Your words get turned into addresses on that map. The AI looks at those addresses, figures out what neighborhood it is in, and starts calculating based on trillions of examples what address probably comes next. Then that next address gets turned back into a word. Then it does it again and again and again. One word at a time, it builds a response. That's the whole magic. No consciousness, no soul behind the screen, no understanding of what those addresses, maps, and words mean. Just math. Very fast, very smart, very large scale math. Happening so quickly that by the time you've finished reading your question, the AI already has an answer waiting. So let me just say that one more time simply. Words become numbers. Numbers have neighbors. The AI learns which numbers like to hang out together. And when you ask it something, it just keeps picking the next most likely number, which becomes the most likely word until it sounds like a real sentence. And it does. That's it. And here's what gets me every time I think about it. That simple idea scaled up produces something that can comfort you when you're sad, advise you when you're lost, and sound like it genuinely understands everything you're going through. Not because it's alive, not because it cares, not because it's invested in your well-being, but because human language itself has that much pattern in it. We wrote so much, so consistently, so emotionally, that a machine learned to walk around inside our words like it belongs there. And that's exactly what makes this complicated. So here's the part that I think about as a psychologist, that AI doesn't know what a dog is. It doesn't know what sadness feels like. It doesn't know what it's like to lose someone, to be afraid, to love something so much it hurts. Only we do. It knows that those words, loss, afraid, love, live near certain other words on its map. And it knows how to string those words together in a way that sounds like it understands. And here's what makes that genuinely unsettling. When you are going through something painful, when you are grieving, when you are struggling, when you are lonely at 2 in the morning and you talk to an AI, it responds with warmth. It will say the right things. It will sound like it gets you. But it doesn't get you. It doesn't get it. It's completing a pattern. The pattern for person in pain plus comforting responses exists in its training data because humans wrote about it millions of times. So it follows the pattern. Now, I'm not saying that's worthless. There is real value in having words that feel right come back to you at the right moment. I understand that. But I am saying this, there's something that happens in real human relationship between two people who both actually know what loss feels like, that no amount of pattern completion can replicate. That gap matters, especially in mental health. And that's what I talk about on this channel. Because AI is not going away. It's going to be everywhere in our lives, in our relationships, in how we process our emotions. And if we are not having honest conversations about what it actually is and what it can't actually do, we are going to be in trouble. So now you know, the AI isn't thinking, it's not feeling, it's not understanding you. It's doing something much simpler and somehow much more impressive. It learned the shape of human language so well that it can walk around inside it like it belongs there. That's worth knowing because when you know how something works, you use it wisely. You can stop projecting emotions onto it that aren't there. You can stop substituting it for the real human connection you actually need. And you can start asking smarter questions like, where does AI actually help in mental health? And where does it actually do harm? That's exactly what I dig into every week on this channel. If that's the kind of conversation you've been looking for, hit subscribe. And if you know someone who's been relying a little too heavily on their AI chatbot for emotional support, send them this video. No judgment, just information. I am Dr. Sharona. I'll see you in the next one.